Right. Oh, I think I'm live. So, hey everybody. Welcome back to another game from the International. I do believe this is the second game of Complexity versus Orange. I am jumping in late as always since I just got home from uni for the day, but as always, looking forward to casting and always looking forward to getting some more practice in. And I doubt I'll ever have anybody watching this live, but hopefully some of you will enjoy it as a VOD. And that sounds... I'm not... Viper was just banned. I'm just going to be getting one or two casting things set up, and then we'll be getting into this game. And as I missed the draft, I came in late, guys, so sorry about that. So it's coL versus Orange. Game 2. Right, oh, so sorry about that. So we're going to have Complexity over on the Dire side. Orange are going to be over on the Radiant side. I think I've already introduced myself, or introduced the tournament, etc., etc. So, looking at the bans, nothing too unexpected in the first set. We've got Naga, Lycan, and Darks here. And then Nature's Prophet, Rubik, and the Shrek. Rubik's been creeping into the ban pool recently. His win rate has been fantastic. He's such a strong hero. I mean, I've talked about it before. His default kit is fantastic. The ability to use your strength and awareness as a player to manipulate the flow of the game, and especially with spell steal, that's magnified, is super strong. So it's not all that surprising to see Rubik being banned. So Complexity have picked up Chen, Lone Druid, and TA. So more than likely going to see TA soloing mid, maybe Lone Druid taking the hard lane solo, or even the safe lane, and then Chen probably in the safe jungle. It looks like they're going to be holding back a bit, maybe waiting for that Lone Druid to finish up one or two items, and then that will be their big timing push. Still have the potential to pick up some early towers. Enchantress over on Orange is, as always, going to be a pain in the ass for Chen, especially early game, so I wouldn't expect to see him running an aggressive jungle in the Radiant jungle, though we have seen Fluff and Stuff do it, so not all that surprising. And IX Mike's Venomancer has been banned out this game, so I guess we're going to have to see him playing some other form of hard support. So Beastmaster is going to be the ban, and Complexity are going to go for their last ban right now. Morphling's being picked up on Orange, along with Invoker, so fantastic all game, both of these heroes. Invoker obviously weak until he gets Invoke, so they're not really going to have that many level 1 engagements, but over on the Radiant, Chen and TA don't really have much to do with their level 1 kits, so it's not going to be a big deal. And Complexity just taking their time with this last ban right now. I think Orange probably needs to maybe look for some more reliable stun. They've got good slow between maybe the Cold Snap and the Enchantress slow, but they don't really have a bunch of reasonable duration stun. So probably looking to pick that up maybe in their hard support, maybe something like the Rasta or even a Lion. And so Tidehunter is going to be the ban for Complexity. Neither team a huge amount of AoE just yet. Invoker obviously can get there later in the game, but early on he's fairly single target focused, especially with the Quaz Exort build. If he goes Quaz Wex, then of course he's got the AoE impact from the Tornado and EMP. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Orange pick up right now. I do think they definitely still need a hard support, and if Enchantress is going to be in the jungle, then they probably they might want to look for a hard lane solo, depending on whether they want to put Morphling in the safe lane or grab something to go with Morphling and put Enchantress Morphling +1 on the hard lane and give Invoker mid. There's a lot of options for them right now. Morphling, as always, is always a really strong solo mid, but Batrider's been picked up, so bit of an interesting pick. I know it's one that Orange has run in the past and very successfully. We'll see what they choose to do with him this game. He's probably going to be in a solo, I want to say. He's not bad against TA, able to chew through those charges really quickly, and as always, Lasso is fantastic against against almost anyone, especially if they're relying on positioning for a lot of their damage. So complexity, they probably still need a 5th spot as well. There's still plenty left. There's the Rasta if they want to synergize a little bit more with the push. Lion, Shadow Demon is always there. Always a good pickup against Morphling. Good to help save people against shotgun if that's what he's going for. But Windrunner is actually going to be the pick right now for complexity. So maybe sharing the support duties a bit with Chen. Windrunner is quite flexible. You are really able to play her as whatever she can play, all the way up into a 2nd spot and be maybe even a solo mid, and all the way down to 5th as that hard support. It is important to get levels on her, but if you need a hard support in a pinch, it's not a terrible pickup. And again, a similar criticism of complexity right now, that they have a semi-reliable stun in the Shackle Shot, but aside from that, not a whole lot. And so Shadow Shaman's actually going to be picked up for Orange as their hard support. So we'll see what coL do in response. Maybe something like the Lina on hard support. Good AoE stun, good nuke. Fairly squishy against the sort of burst damage that's going to be coming from Orange, but Orange themselves, not the tankiest heroes in the game either, aside from that Morphling. There's still the Sand King in the game, I guess. That does sort of leave them with 2/4, and maybe Windrunner, Chen, and Sand King could just split it up. But Lich is actually going to be their hard support for this game. And so IX Mike, as usual, going to be picking up that hard support role. Jo is going to be on the TA, TC on the Lone Druid, Hannah Montana on the Windrunner, and that leaves Fluff and Stuff, as you would expect, to play the Chen. On Orange, we've got X taking the Enchantress, as you would expect. Ice is going to be taking the Shadow Shaman, and everybody else should be picking up the heroes in just a second. So Mushi on the Morphling, Yamate is going to be on that Invoker, so that should be a treat to watch. And that leaves Winter to play the Batrider. So just waiting on Fluff and Stuff and Winter right now. And I will just appear offline so that my friend pop-ups aren't annoying everybody. And should be getting into the game. Yeah, there we go. And I've still got directed camera on. That's embarrassing, but regardless, we'll be getting into this game right now. So again, Orange on the Radiant side, Ice on the Shadow Shaman, Mushi on the Morphling, Winter on the Batrider, X is going to be on the Enchantress, and that leaves Yamate on the Invoker. Looks like X is going to be heading into the jungle, as you would expect on this Enchantress. Ice has already picked up some boards. Mushi ready with a completed Wraith Band. Over on Complexity, we've got TC. Looks like he's going to be taking this long lane solo. Maybe IX Mike down here to help him out a bit, but maybe he's just looking to plant down some wards to keep TC safe. What's coming out of the career? Some sentries as well. So really wanting to keep TC safe. Probably looking to de-ward anything that's placed down in here, but 4 orange heroes, so IX Mike does need to be a little bit careful. Still doing well, hasn't opted to pick up any skill points just yet, and could mean that he can grab the slow, which would keep him alive early on. And actually tangos a tree and places the ward through the tree, so he doesn't need to walk around, and now they have good sight of what's going on. Looks like it's going to be 3 heroes down on bot, so definitely babysitting this Morphling with the Enchantress and the Shadow Shaman. So that looks like it leaves Winter to head up towards top lane as that Batrider. He's got a ton of regen. And Yamate heading towards mid on that Invoker. Complexity, we've got Jo as expected on the TA heading towards mid. Fluff and Stuff's going to be in the safe jungle. And Hannah Montana looks like he is going to be soloing up on top lane. IX Mike helping out TC down on bot. So investing a lot in this lone druid. They've got wards to make sure that there's no incoming ganks. They've purchased up some sentries as well, so they can probably get rid of this ward. It's in a fairly generic spot. And trying to help slow down this Morphling as well down on the bottom lane. who is currently just having to tank creeps to get last hits, but he should be absolutely fine. I will just pull up last hits and denies for our score. And with that, just get into the laning phase. Hope I don't miss first blood, as I so frequently do. Invoker versus TA mid. It's not actually a bad setup at all for TA. And we've already got a creep coming in. Jo may actually be in trouble. Cold Snap on him. He's going to go down. One more right click is going to do it. Yamate gets the first blood. So, as I say that, and so Jo immediately TPing back in. Doesn't want to miss any XP, but he's already down a level, and that is a big, big help for Yamate on this middle lane. Already chewing through these early refraction charges. So, Yamate, he's still going to be able to kill Invoker quite easily once he gets those levels up, but he's definitely behind in this lane right now. And I think I just called Jo Yamate. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone will have noticed. Hannah Montana up on top lane, already 5 stacks on him, so needs to be careful. Winter's red, well, yeah, so gets those stacks off, but definitely needs to be careful against Winter. Winter, a good way to get to escape, but at the same time, once you get that many stacks, Batrage's auto attacks are doing a ton of damage. So also an interesting lane to watch. It should be fairly even in terms of CS. It's really going to depend on who needs to head away first to try and help out their other lanes. And both teams have a jungler, so XP and gold should be reasonably even heading into the mid game. And X probably going to be looking to make a little bit more of this early game, just with all of the advantages that Enchantress has over Chen for the first few minutes. TC down on bottom lane, not last hitting too badly. He's 7 for 2, and Mushi is 9 for 4. And LD, something in spectator chat, not exactly sure why, but there's probably an explanation. Jo getting harassed by these Enchantress creeps on the middle lane, and they're chewing through his refraction charges as well. 1 charge left. Just puts them back up. So now he's taking damage, needs to be careful. Cold Snap goes up, backs off, and he's not going to be to his bottle for a while, or is he bottle crowing? No, so he's bottle crowing right now to make sure that he can keep refraction up and stay in control of this middle lane. Because Yamate definitely has the advantage right now. And he's got a ton of damage with that Null Talisman and the Blades of Attack already picked up. Winter up on top lane, 11 for 2, up against Hannah Montana, 16 for 4. So Hannah Montana last hitting slightly better, but the constant threat of ganks from Fluff and stuff does mean that that Winter needs to be a little bit more careful up on this top lane. Down on bot, TC interrupting the pull with his bear. It's on low health, but he's going to be able to resummon it in just a second. And IX Mike down here just staying out of XP range as best he can, spamming deny. They've got a ton of wards. They've already dewarded the rune site for orange, so doing whatever they can to really keep this Syllabear safe. They're investing a lot for him. And it's a good decision as well to have the Chen just jungling up. It means that he's going to have a few core items like the mech and his mana boots up right around the time that Syllabear starts picking up maybe his Maelstrom or his Relic, depending on what he's opting for. Jo on the middle lane has managed to bottle up a regen, which was the 4-minute rune, so he's going to be fairly happy about that, and it's going to help him get some more control back on this lane. He's almost equaling Yamate's level again, and how much is that from denies? Not much. They're fairly even in terms of CS. Neither one able to harass the other all that much. TA obviously losing in terms of range, but those refraction charges meaning that she's able to do quite well, and up to level 6 now, so ganky potential all of a sudden through the roof. Winter's picked up some boots up on top lane. The tower is already taking some damage, and this tower is fairly likely to fall within the first couple of minutes, and as I said that, yeah, Fluff and stuff comes in with the creeps. He's got a Wildkin, he's got the Satyr, so fairly good pushing creeps, and Winter hit by that power shot. Looks like he's just going to have to back off. So 1 or 2 waves of creeps, and Complexity should be able to grab this tower. Yeah, and Winter just backing up. Might be able to get the deny. He's getting harassed a little bit, but needs to be careful. Only 400 HP. Satyr nuke plus a well-landed power shot, plus the Chen nuke could probably mean his death, and Chen will get the last hit on that top tower. So the first tower of the game, 2 complexity, so probably evening up from that first blood. Yeah, only 500 gold in it. Gold and XP graphs don't really show that much this early on. And look at that mid lane, it's still so even. 30 for 9 versus 29 for 8. Jo only slightly behind, and not by even an appreciable amount. Yamate picked up some phase boots. He's actually heading towards Quaswex as his build for this game. And it's a good choice, especially against heroes like the TA. She's fairly mana dependent, but she's not going to be picking up mana items, and you can really reduce her damage by just burning it all away with a high rank EMP. IX might continuing to put down wards on this bottom lane. They're investing a lot, again, in this Sloan Druid. And a pause from X as Winter disconnects. So that is unfortunate, and I guess something must have gone fairly seriously wrong, especially given that they are all playing in the Valve offices for these matches. Yeah, Phenol just asking what's up. And TC has sort of given away what he's going for. He's already picked up boots on the bear and himself, so maybe heading towards maybe phase boots and a Orb of Venom on the bear, maybe into a Maelstrom as well. A little bit gankier. It comes up a little bit earlier than the Radiance build that is quite popular, but I think he's still going to wait and see how things play out before he decides what build he's heading into. The fact that he's getting babysat and the fact that they're investing all of these wards suggests that maybe he's going for the Radiance Rush, just because that would be it's probably the most effective item on Syllabear. It's just a question of, can you farm it within a reasonable amount of time before the enemy team starts getting beefier because of items and starts getting things like the mech up. I think it's probably a good chance to check on levels. So both hard supports just doing what they can, both defending their carries effectively. Down on bottom lane, Fluffastuff getting a little bit better of the levels right now in terms of jungling, but X has been using his creeps to harass mid lane quite a bit, so not getting as much out of the jungle. Still getting plenty of last hits and denies. Well, still getting plenty of last hits, but most of those are probably just a small camp compared to Fluff and Stuff maybe getting some of the larger camps. And Fluff and Stuff already with the buckler picked up. Mushi's farm not going bad at all down to this bottom lane. But Hannah Montana and Jo leading the pack right now. And Fluff and Stuff buckling up the creeps. Looks like they want to head for this tower as well. Ice is going to come in, but he's only level 3, and Winter's actually head down towards the bottom lane. He's smoked up. Firefly is around. TC needs to be careful. IX Mike is here. Slow onto TC. Winter wants him, but the entangle immediately hits him. Winter's going to be in big trouble. He's going to go down. JO's in here. Slow on X. Still has the wisp ups for a little bit longer, so not going to be burst down just yet. But there we go. Tons of damage and the melt hit. Hand of God pops as well, so double kill for Jo. And a kill on top. Fluff and Stuff looks like he's going to go down to Mushi. Hannah Montana picked off Ice. Yamate is up here as well, so 3 for 1 the trade all over the map. And Complexity definitely going to be fairly happy with that. Hannah Montana safely making it out. And looks like he got sent back to base by Chen, so well played by Fluff and Stuff. TP not on cooldown. So Jo has a DD rune, picked up his phase boots. He got first blooded, but he's going to have his blink really quickly after that double kill, and he's not going to be all that concerned. Pops the DD rune. Mushi, not going to be too worried. He's fairly low on mana, so he's not going to be able to morph strength. But so long as... has picked up some treads, but shouldn't be too worried about the damage from Jo. And Yamate actually switching down onto this bottom lane, so Orange moving all the way around the map right now. And TC just continues to farm. He's up to 33 last hits, so not doing too badly. He's picked up an Orb of Venom on himself, boots, and a stout. Well, Orb of Venom on the bear, boots and a stout as well. He's got some phase boots, and we'll still see what he's opting for. It looks like he might be heading towards a Maelstrom, maybe instead of a Radiance, but there's still plenty of time. It's only 9 minutes into the game. And Complexity continue to put pressure on this top lane. It looks like they're going to get it as well. Not denied. Looks like the Wildkin just got the last hit. So Mushi just going to have a little bit of farming room up on this top lane. And mid getting pressured by Jo as well. Tower almost down to half HP. And still lots and lots of wards for Complexity down in this bottom lane. They do not want any ganks on TC whatsoever. So really realizing that they're relying on that. Really realizing that they're relying on pointless poignant alliteration. But really realizing that they're relying on that Syllabear. And so doing whatever they can to get farm on him. Jo doing extremely well. Picked up a Blink Dagger 10 minutes into the game. So all of the squishies over on Orange are going to have to be really careful. His net worth isn't even that high. He's just managed to farm straight to the items that he wants. And at this point, I mean, once you have phase and a blink on TA, your item build is pretty much done. Maybe a BKB, maybe a Desolator, maybe a crit later on, but in terms of damage potential, it's just going to come from levels. And it's only an additional rank of Meld to get some more damage out. So they're going to be extremely scared. Tornado goes forward, EMP as well, Cold Snap just trying to harass on TC, Ice is going to come forward, Hand of God pops, Jo's in here with the blink, almost one-shotting Ice, wants Yamate as well, he's going to try and TP out, but gets entangled and will go down, double kill for Jo. So he's up to 4 kills right now, and going to be really happy with how this game is playing out. Winter just trying to get some farm up on this mid lane, was really forced back from the creep line. Up on top as those 2 towers got pushed down. And it's the danger of running 3 heroes down on this bottom lane, well, 2 plus the enchanters, that you sort of need to leave whatever is happening in top lane well alone. Enchantress can't bring creeps up to help the same way that Chen can because of the limited duration, and so Winter really just didn't have any option but to let those towers fall. And the only one who could really have done anything was Yamate, and his attention was really focused on this bottom lane. Looks like Orange want to go for a bit of a gank as well. Winter now level 7, so he's got Lasso up. And IX Mike not doing too badly in terms of levels himself. Actually, from all these kills on bottom lane, picked up level 6, so has that Lich ultimate up. And so Complexity looking, well, they're in a very strong position right now. And Ice getting slowed down. Hexes the bear, does not want to get entangled, but needs to be careful. Tornado does land on TC, but the Lich ultimate not going to bounce quite enough. Ice is going to go down. Yamate still chasing after IX Mike. Pops the stick charges, so he's going to survive. Now TC wants Yamate. There's nobody else down here. Hannah Montana actually heading in, but Yamate just ducking down into the trees. And as I say that, kill on mid. Fluff and Stuff and Jo taking out Mushi. So Complexity extend their lead to 7 for 2, and they're gonna grab another tower as well. Fluff and Stuff is really rich. Yeah, he's pretty much got his mech finished up already. He's got a couple of tower last hits, and he's got that last hit, and he's got a kill and assist to his name as well. And it looks like the tier 1 on bot gonna go down as well. So Complexity just looking incredible in this game right now. Keeping Orange on the back foot the whole time. Gold and XP probably heavily in their favor, yep. 4k and 5k, XP and gold. They're doing extremely well. Net worth, those towers are really beefing them up. And that much of a gold difference early on is a couple of bracers, a couple of cheap stat items, and it makes a big difference in these fights. And Complexity, they've got a plan. They're just heading straight into the Roshan pit. All 5 of them in here. Nothing that Orange can do to stop them. They don't have sight either. Warding from Complexity has been absolutely fantastic. And Orange, they're really relegated to sort of their corner of the map. They're being pushed back past the river, and they haven't taken any towers either, so not Didn't really have the heroes to capitalize on the early pushing power of the Enchantress, especially when you've got the Shadow Shaman playing in such a hard support role. Wards were not going to be up for a while. Orange with the smoke right now. Jo probably the most likely target, but looks like they're just heading up towards top lane. There's nobody there, but with the roster ward, they should be able to pick up an easy tower. And TP heading down towards bot by Venomancer, so there shouldn't be enough to sort of stop out this top lane. Orange just waiting around for now, trying to see if anyone's going to TP in. Yamate reveals himself, so it looks like they're probably just going to go for the tower. And Complexity are a little bit away from any tower right now, so not going to be too concerned. Jo needs to be careful. Winter popping the Firefly. But yeah, wards go down. Looks like it's going to be an easy tier 1 for Orange. Fortification actually pops, but there's only 2 heroes up here right now. Lich and Jo. TP coming in for TC. But no, the tower's not actually going to go down. Tornado's going to fly through, and Icy going to try and TP out. And all of Orange just on their retreat. Don't want to get engaged on. Venomancer down on bot, but his TP was off cooldown. And Fluff and Stuff still able to contribute with that Hand of God, so probably a wise decision to back off for Orange. And so Mushi actually opting for what looks like a fairly early game item build, realizing that they're getting pushed in and they're going to have to go for fights soon. Ice getting shackled, looks like he's actually going to go down. The Stomp, Courier almost going down as well. Tornado flies through, hits Fluff and Stuff on the bear as well. Shackle flies, does latch Mushi, and he needs to be careful. Big hit from Jo, morphing as much strength as he can, waveforms away. He's going to be just fine. And Mech pops off over in Complexity. They're just going to be pushing onto this tower. 2 tornadoes up. There is no stopping that. It's such a nightmare of an ability. And Yamate, he is just getting chewed up. Shackle flies, doesn't quite find him. And Complexity, they can probably just keep pushing. That Spirit Bear is going to be up again in a sec. Yep, just resummoning it right now. Now the Relic actually up as well, so all of this tower gold leading to still a really quick Radiance for TC. He's going to have that up in a little bit, so Complexity may just choose to back off until they get that online. And then they should be easily able to go high ground. They've got a great gold advantage, they've got a great XP advantage, and they've got things like the Mech and the Hand of God online and ready to use. And Jo's reaching the peak of his damage as well. Mushi gonna get caught out, gonna try and TP out, but the Shackle's gonna land, and so is the Lich ultimate. There is no escape for him. And Complexity, it's a big pickup for them. And Venomancer cutting through perfectly to where Mushi had waveformed into the trees. And this should be the tier 2 on bot as well, so Orange, they're running out of towers, and they're running out of time. Mushi's still opting for a fairly early game item build, but it's just not going to be enough. They don't have a lot of team fight, they don't have a ton of disable, and the Shadow Shaman, for what he can provide, is just going to be almost instantly killed in these team fights. I mean, only 700 HP. TC needs to be careful up on top lane. The wards are down. He's actually purchased up his Radiance, so not too worried about that. He's actually going to go down to a 3-man gank from Orange. But still, he's picked up the Radiance, so he's not going to be all that concerned. And who had the Aegis? Was it TC? Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention yet. Looks like it was TC, so they probably won't wait for the next Roshan. They've got control of the map, and they can see Orange moving even through their own jungle, so not all that concerned. And that, given the position that they're in, they shouldn't be all that worried to maybe just wait a bit, get the 2nd rank of Hand of God, you know, maybe look to get a 2nd rank on that Lich ultimate as well, and then just go for a big push. And especially with the Radiant set, that's such a huge boost to their team's overall effectiveness in these team fights. So we will see what they ought to do. TC's back up now, Radiance is up, Orb of Venom boots, Phase boots on his hero, so maybe try and pick up level 11, get a little bit of bonus health on the ultimate, and maybe just grab a cloak or something like that for a little bit more survivability. But yeah, and Jo completing up a Desolator, so he is just absolutely huge, and he's got the Aegis, so Basecamp, king of not paying enough attention to who picks up the Aegis. I should have just checked chat. Orange moving as a group through their jungle, but they're not getting any farm, and they actually opts to pick up a gem. So not only a big help against the TA, but looks like we're gonna have a bit of a team fight, and also a big help to gain map control back. Jo moving forward doesn't really need to fear anything right now. All of the heroes at Orange are squishy enough that they're going to be burst down almost instantly. All he needs to do is make sure that his team can get in position to support him as soon as he goes in. But look at that damage. I mean, doing 250 damage a hit with refraction up, plus the meld hit and the minus armor from the Desolator, and that meld is just going to be doing ridiculous damage. And there's just no response on Orange right now for the Radiance on this bear. There's no mech, not close to a pipe, and they don't really have anything to kill it either. There's no medallion, there's no minus armor, and JO's gonna head straight in, 2-shot ice. EMP's gonna hit and drain all of his mana, but they've got mana boots. They're gonna be fine. Pushing them out with flame break, but 3 tornadoes plus the Radiance burn. That is just absolutely ridiculous damage right now. Yeah, the wall of Wildkin all standing off to the side here. And there's no stopping this push. The Desolator is shredding the tower, so is the Demolish on the bear. And Orange, I'm not sure if they're even going to be able to take this fight. Jo, he just doesn't care right now. Winter gonna try and grab somebody, but not able to find it. And get shackled to Yamate, so they're gonna be in big trouble here. Lich ultimate flies as well. Bounces to ice, bounces back to Yamate, back to ice. And lots of damage. They're just gonna farm up these wards. And Orange are actually going to call GG. So such convincing play for Complexity. They knew exactly what their game plan was. They sent the Lich down bot to protect TC. They knew they didn't want him ganked whatsoever, and yeah, they followed through. They got the kills, went to Roshan, got the Aegis up, and they just played a really solid game. So game goes to Complexity. This has been another game from the preliminaries of the International. I've been Basecamp, and thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you all later.